So welcome back. So just to recap our last video, if you remember, we talked about Bob, who was a kind of solo entrepreneur. He was a contractor doing custom kitchens, and Bob got hurt on the job. So he realizes that, he can't do this business forever all by himself. Because he was out of work for a month, he lost some business, and he's also kind of burned out now. He's been doing this for a little while. He wants to grow, and he's kind of feeling stuck. And Bob had asked a successful client of his while he was doing his kitchen. He had asked him, who has multiple businesses. He said, how can I grow my business? So the wealthy business owner gave Bob 2 assignments to do. And I told you in this video that we were going to talk about those assignments. And I told you the assignments, which I'm not sure if you went out and did that yet. I hope you did. And if you didn't, that's okay. We're actually going to go through Bob today, what he did when he did the assignments the business man gave him, and what Bob discovered about his company. Okay, so let's just get right into it. So Bob is excited now because he's feeling a little bit of direction. He was lost for a little while there, and he goes home and he sits at his computer so he can do the assignment that the businessman gave him. So he goes on Google, right, and he types in custom kitchens. He goes to Google, does a search, custom kitchens, and he looks at all the businesses that are on the front page. Now, the first assignment, if you remember, was to find all the businesses in his area that were the most successful in his field. So he typed in custom kitchens because that's what Bob, his specialty is custom kitchens. And so he looks on Google and he goes clicking through the pages that are on that first page of Google there. He goes one after the other, checking out the websites and seeing these other companies. Now, the first assignment was to make a list. So he finds, he wants to look for the companies that are in his area, because the companies that were like national, Bob, that's too far away for Bob, right? So he figures, I want to find the companies that are a little bit more like me, is what he's thinking. And he looks for companies within his state or his region, that type of thing. Guys that are doing really well in custom kitchens, but aren't like a giant company, that type of thing. Because, Bob wants to make sure he can apply it to himself. But he sees a lot that he can improve on as he is kind of doing this research. So he writes down a bunch of these companies, right? And then he does a little deeper dive. He goes to the website of each one of these businesses, and he starts looking to see what do these companies have that he doesn't right now. The first thing that Bob notices is that they all have a website. Because Bob doesn't even have a website at this point. He's built his business just through word of mouth or referrals, doing good work. Bob does a great job. He's awesome at custom kitchens. He gets referrals, but that's about the extent of it. So he doesn't have a website. He's only just handed out business cards in the past. The other thing is these websites, they have a really nice websites, and they're easy to navigate. They're very clear and simple, so it's easy to find out how to get in touch with the owner or to book a quote, to book a job. Easy to navigate, and they're ranked on Google. So Bob, as he's even doing this, he realized how it's important, because all these people that are looking for, custom kitchens and the type of work that Bob does are right there on Google searching for his services, and Bob is not there. He doesn't even have an opportunity to show himself because he doesn't have a website and he's not ranked on Google. He realizes he's missing out there. Okay, so the second thing that Bob notices is when he does a little bit more deep dive into this, he sees that a lot of these companies have higher prices, right? The prices are much higher than what Bob is offering. And Bob's mindset up to this point was like, I want to make sure I'm pricing my customers, my jobs as low as possible, because I want my customers to pay as little. But really, Bob's doing it because he doesn't know really how to price his jobs any other way. He realized, he's always had to compete on price, because he's not one of these big companies. He's always had a kind of lowball, which kind of leaves Bob with smaller margins. And it's hard to, he realizes it's hard to pay employees with the amount of money he's charging the customers. He sees that these other businesses are charging higher prices, so there's a little bit of room and profit to hire contractors or share the wealth or spend some money in advertising. So he sees where he's going wrong there. And that leads me to the third point. Bob also notices that they have contractors working for them. These are not guys that are trying to do everything on their own. They've got employees. They've got contractors that That way, when the customer wants to schedule a job, they have other chances to fill that same day. You know, if one guy's on a job, they can put another one on another job. But up until this point, Bob realized he's losing a lot of business because when someone calls him up and they say they want a kitchen done, and you know, people get excited about their home remodel, so they want it done soon, and he's losing a job because of it. Sometimes he has to put customers on a 2-week, 3-week wait, where if he had some help, he could get those extra jobs that he's losing right now, because he'll be able to accommodate the customer's needs, right? So he's missing out by not having a team. Number 4, he sees that these other companies that are really successful, they're doing more than just kitchens. You know, they're doing bathrooms and flooring, and some have even expanded out into vinyl siding and roofing, right? Now, Bob, you know, Bob's really good, right? He's really good at his custom kitchens, but Bob sometimes is a perfectionist, and he doesn't want to do something unless he thinks he can be perfect at it. So he's a little nervous to do bathrooms and flooring because, you know, although he probably could do it, you know, Bob's a great contractor. He does awesome at the kitchens. He'd be able to figure out the bathrooms and floorings probably in a very short amount of time, but he's afraid that he's going to make a mistake. And that's why he hasn't really dabbled in the bathrooms and flooring. But after looking at this, he realized that that's probably holding him back because these other companies are offering all these services and they're probably getting a lot more jobs because of that, because they can, you know, do referrals to people who are looking. You know, if he does someone's kitchen and their neighbor needs a bathroom, they don't need a kitchen, but they need a bathroom, he can pick up a lot of extra work that way. So Bob starts seeing the light bulb going off. Oh, maybe I need to expand my services, right? And then number 5, one of the big things, as he's going through Google and he's looking through all these listings, on the right-hand side, he sees a little picture ads popping up. Custom kitchens, call for a free quote. So he clicks on them and you see it leads to his competitors' websites, these other guys that are really successful. And Bob's like, I don't have any advertising. I don't even have a website. So he knows nothing about online marketing or how to do paid advertising. This is all new to him. So Bob started to feel a little overwhelmed at this point, to be honest. He's seeing what all these successful competitors are doing, and he realizes he's been missing out on a lot of opportunities by not doing this stuff. But the other thing is, Bob has no clue how to do any of this. You know, up until this point, Bob's beliefs was he felt that as long as he does a great job on the kitchens and he does good work and he's honest and takes care of customers, that's going to take him to the top. But he realizes that that's just a given, right? Everybody's got to have that. But to grow, he needed some of these other things that these companies are doing on top of being, you know, giving great service and all that stuff. So Bob's a little stressed out. He doesn't know what to do. So he takes his assignment the next day and he rushes over to that client's house again so he can ask him some more questions. He says, okay, I got my assignments done. Here's my assignments. And the man looks at him and he says, okay, great. You know, do you have some direction now with your business? Do you know what to do? And Bob says, well, he's a little embarrassed. He says, you know, I see what I'm doing wrong, but I don't know how to fix it. You know, I don't know how to hire people. I'm not that great with people, actually, Bob says. You know, he's been in construction a while, hasn't really had to be social and stuff. I don't really know how to manage people. I'm afraid they're going to make mistakes. I don't know anything about building websites or even what to put on a website or how to get something ranked on Google. And I'm kind of scared to offer higher prices because I don't know if anybody's ever going to want to pay me that much for these jobs. You know, I'm nervous to offer that. And then I've got to learn these other services. That's going to take me time to learn how to do bathrooms. And I don't even know where to start with ads. So the man kind of smiles, you know, because he can kind of relate to Bob. He looks back at Bob and he kind of sees him, you know, 5 or 10 years ago when he was starting out his businesses. So, he you know, in a way, he kind of reminds the business owner of himself. So the man says, well, what you really need to do is get a mentor. When I was starting my companies, he says, I had a mentor, someone that was really good in my field and in business that knew how to do all this stuff. He taught me and he trained me how to do these things. And he worked with me daily because it was hard. I was overwhelmed too. I felt the same way as you did, but the mentor kind of helped guide me. And Bob was like, I need a mentor. That's exactly what I need. That would help a lot if I had someone that showed me. And then Bob thinks, well, wait a minute, would you be my mentor? Would you help me out with this? Because you're really good at business. Do you think you would help me, learn how to do these things? And the business owner says, well, he really wants to help Bob, but he's pretty busy himself. He's got a lot of stuff going on. He's got multiple businesses. He says, Bob, I'd really love to help you, but I've got a lot going on in my life. I'm pretty busy, and I want to help you, but it's going to take some work. It's going to take time, and it's going to take some energy, and I don't know if I can just do that. And he's kind of testing Bob a little bit. Like, he really wants to help him, but he wants to kind of see how serious Bob is. So Bob thinks about it for a minute, and Bob kind of has a moment of silence. He's a little disappointed because he really wants a mentor, but then he knows he needs this. Like, deep inside, he knows that this is what he has to do to get to the next level, right? So, he says, look, I'll do whatever you want if you're willing to mentor me. I'll do this kitchen for you completely for free if you're willing to mentor me. That's how serious I am. I want you to know I'm willing to do whatever it takes to grow, and I've had it to this point. I'm ready to do this, and I know you can help me. So if you want, I'll do the whole kitchen for you. It's on me. This was a big step for Bob. Because Bob doesn't have tons of money saved up, so for him to show that meant a lot. And the business owner said, all right, so if I do this for you and I mentor you, do you promise me you're going to follow through on every assignment that I give you? And Bob says, absolutely. I promise. I'll do whatever you tell me to do. If you're going to help me get there, I'll do whatever you say. And the man says, okay, sometimes it's going to be hard. You're going to have to do things you might not be comfortable with. And Bob says, that's okay. I'm ready for this. I can do it. So the guy says, all right, I agree. I'll help you out. I will help you grow your company the way you want it. I'll mentor you. And he says, but you don't have to do the whole kitchen for free for me. Look, just to tell you what, I'll cover the materials. Maybe you just do the labor for me. How's that? He didn't want to take advantage of Bob. He just wanted to make sure Bob was serious about it. So Bob says, deal, right? So now the mentor, we're going to call him the mentor from now on because it's easier to say than the business owner. We're going to call him the mentor. So the mentor gives him another assignment. He says, okay, so Bob, before we start working on these specific things that you need to do, there's something we need to work on. We need to make sure you have your vision right and your mindset right. Because some of the stuff I'm going to tell you to do is going to make you a little uncomfortable. It's going to be hard. It's going to take some practice. It's going to take some work, a little patience, and there's going to be some obstacles along the way. So before I teach you the specifics, we want to make sure that you have a big desire for this. We want to create your vision so that way when the hard times come, your vision is going to carry you through that. So he says, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go home tonight, Bob, and I want you to write down, what does your ideal business look like? So you're going to write on paper, how many hours do you want to be working per week? How much money do you want to be making for yourself? And I want you to, when you're writing this stuff down, I want you to picture yourself kind of there already, right? And envision how it's going to feel when you're working, let's say 10 hours a week, and you're making yourself $100,000 a year, and you've got people working for you. How does that feel? What does that mean for you and your family life? Does that mean more time for your family? Can you take more vacations? If you could take more vacations, where are you going to take your family once you have this free time? How much money do you want to make in your business? How many hours do you want to be working? What kind of business do you want to run? So he says, I want you to create your ideal life, and also for yourself, Bob, as a person. I found, the mentor says, that when I had to grow my business, I had to grow as a person as well. So I want you to think about anything that kind of about yourself that you see you might want to change. Anything that's a little rough or bumpy that maybe if you had the opportunity you'd want to work on that. Maybe think about the ideal version of you as well. Are you more confident? Are you more positive? Are you a harder worker? Are you more motivated? Are you happier? I want you to write that down too. So you're basically writing your ideal life where you want to be in about a year from now. Okay? So Bob he's kind of excited and scared at the same time because, it's hard to see this. Bob's always kind of been in that struggle survivor mode up to this point. He's always kind of just been work hard. He never really realized, thought about having all this other stuff. But he's kind of excited about it. He thinks about it. He said, this is going to be kind of fun. He's also scared too because, he doesn't want to be disappointed if it doesn't happen. But anyways, he agrees to do this, and he goes home and he does this assignment. So I just want to recap because this one was a little bit of a longer video. So Bob did his assignment. He finds the companies in his area that were similar to his, and he finds out who his top competition is, who are the most successful. And then he realizes he needs a website, he's got to get ranked on Google, he needs employees, he's got to find new products, he's got to increase his prices, he's got to learn online advertising. These are all very specific skills he needs to be trained on. He realizes that it's going to take some training for him to grow. The mentor tells him that he needs a mentor, he needs someone to work with him. So he begs him, please, he gets a mentor, and now the mentor gives him this assignment, okay? So your assignment now is I want you to write down what would your ideal business, you're obviously watching this video because you are here, you want to grow a business, maybe you're like Bob too. What would your ideal business look like? How many hours do you want to work? How much money do you want to make? Do you want to have people working for you? Do you want to automate your business? Do you want to be able to work from anywhere, around the country so you can travel? Do you want to spend more time with your children, your kids, your family, or just have more free time to do the hobbies and things that you really want? Write that stuff down and then picture the perfect version of yourself. You want to be a little bit better shape. You want to be, do that, follow that dream that you've always wanted to and have the time to kind of pursue that. Something maybe that doesn't make you a lot of money, but it's something you're really passionate about and you love. Kind of fantasize a little bit here and have a little bit of fun with it, right? Sit in a quiet room for about an hour and just think and dream about what you'd want for yourself, okay? And in the next video, I'm going to walk you through how Bob does this exercise and what Bob discovers about himself and a magical transformation that happens. But I don't want to spoil it for you, so wait till tomorrow to tell you that. Okay, so I want you to do this assignment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.